Hey everyone, Almir here at Overkill. I'm one of the producers here at the studio, and with me I have none other than Saul Gascon, the executive producer on Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Hello guys.
Saul.
Hello Almir.
Hey, good seeing you. How are you doing? You had a good day?
Yeah, absolutely. Working hard and in a very cool game,
yeah,
right? So
sure.
What else can I ask? How was your Gamescom?
It was great, dude. We just came back, myself and a dozen of the other crew members here at the studio. Because you know, when we fly out to these shows, right, to showcase our games, we bring the developers with us, and I think that's so cool. And Gamescom, for those of you who don't know, is a super cool show. It's based out of Cologne in Germany. It's 350,000 visitors on the same venue. We had a big booth in Hall 9, 36 stations where people could play the game together. We had lines for hours, people who came over and tried it over and over again. And actually, we have some footage with us from the show that I'd like to show the viewers. Do you mind?
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look.
It's easy to learn, but I saw like a crafting system, so there's like a ton of stuff that you have to learn even more to enjoy the game fully, so I'm into it.
Quite interesting, but very difficult. So to talk with each other and to find a solution and decide where to go.
You are really limited on ammunition, so you really have to think about if you want to shoot the zombies or beat them up with your melee weapon. So it was kind of tactical.
So it was pretty fun, and it was a lot of pressure you had because the ammunition was very short and you had to search for the resources, and it was actually very fun. The graphic was looking very cool and it felt good to play.
Yeah, my heartbeat was really through the roof, yeah, actually.
That's awesome. It was quite fun. It was surprisingly stealthy, and you have to be very careful what you're doing and really watch about your teammates, and it was really fun.
I'm so hyped for it when it comes out. When it comes out, I'll directly buy it.
All right, that was it. That was Gamescom. Pretty cool, right?
It's very cool, like seeing people reacting like that.
It was crazy. It was 12-hour shift, 12-hour days, you know, for the entire crew on site. There were so many people lining up to play the game, and like you saw in the clip, you know, they had fun. They had to work together, and it was challenging, you know, in all the right ways, which is exactly what we're trying to aim for with the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. And for us, it's very exciting. Like we were just talking about it before, right? Like
like when we came back to Stockholm with the rest of the crew who were at Gamescom, we usually do it like you said, like we sit down together, everyone in the team, and we go, how was the show? What happened? So can you tell me, what did the crew who were at Gamescom say to the rest of the dev team back home?
Yeah, I think that the biggest takeaway we got, right, is what you said. People had fun, people was excited. A lot of people died too, which was cool too, like seeing them screaming and whatnot. But you know, like we work a bit like a family here at Starbreeze, right? So that crew that was there at Gamescom explained to the rest, like, this is our experience, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest takeaway is that you know how people reacted to what we've created, right? And this is something that really motivates us, like as developers, to go like, oh my god, you know, because we have fun when we play, right?
Yeah.
But when you see others having fun, is when you really go like, okay, we have something really good here.
Yeah.
Right? And you know, we took a lot of notes from all the feedback.
Yeah, because the cool thing is that at the show we have different types of developers, right? You have everything from QA to artists, animators, programmers, being on the show floor, watching people play the game, taking notes themselves, you know, getting good arguments to go back home to the team and go, I told you so, this is why we had to change that thing, you know, which is great.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that also there was, you know, this anecdote, right? That some guy did it like 12 times, I don't know how many times, right?
Yeah, almost a dozen times they came back and wanted to play again, which
With
is crazy.
5-hour waits.
Yeah, which is pretty nuts. Yeah, but it's great. It's you know, for us, I think it's just so great to see people having fun with it, you know, and you know, every day we come one day closer to launch, so it's very exciting. And for those of you who couldn't be at Gamescom, don't worry about it, we got you covered. What we're going to do here today during this developer stream is that we're actually going to go through the Underpass level, the Underpass mission that you got to see at Gamescom if you were there. And none other than Saul himself will take us through it and tell us what we're seeing and help us understand more about Overkill's The Walking Dead and why it's such a cool game. Yeah. All right, so should we start?
Yeah, let's go. Let's show it. So what you can see here, this is West End Underpass, and the family, it's a rival faction that is attacking our camp, right? They want our resources, our food, right? And then they've been attacking us for a while, so right now we decided to go and retrieve the radio, so we can...
And this is the radio, right?
This is the radio. This is the pieces that we will need to steal, right? And then to steal that radio, what we want to achieve with that is like basically hear what they're doing, so we can be ready if they attack us again, right?
Yeah.
But you know, as you can see here, like it's not gonna be easy to get to their base because obviously everything is packed with walkers. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, the streets are crowded with them and swarmed with them.
Exactly. And then, as you can see here, like, well, the environments look beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's so cool to see, you know, day by day how every part of the game becomes more and more polished as we come close to launch. It's so cool. So the point of the mission then is that the group of survivors that we play as are supposed to reach that tower that you could see in the distance.
Exactly. This is the let's say the camp that they build around it, right? And then we will need to sneak through. Well, you actually can choose however you want it, but in this playthrough you will see us trying to sneak through. Cool. And here we go. There we start here.
All right. And right now we're seeing Aiden play, right? He has a silenced pistol.
Exactly. It's important, like any noise that you generate in the game, as you can see in the top, there is what we call a hordometer.
Yeah.
And then any noise that you make will actually trigger this, right? And then when you reach specific amounts, like you make too much noise, basically, zombies will start being attracted to the area, right? So right now you will see that there is walkers everywhere.
Yeah.
But if we fuck up and then we do too much noise, this is not gonna be beautiful, right?
And we saw one walker with like a super heavy armor. What was that about?
Yeah, that's so as you know, the army has tried to contain the infection, right?
Yeah.
In Washington D.C.
Yeah.
There is still some cops that were just turned. In the middle.
So some cops have more armor on them. You have to pop up their helmets and stuff like that.
Exactly. And then pop up the helmet, and then as every walker, right? The only way to kill them is to actually
hit them in the head.
Brain. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we're at our first puzzle here in the missions, because all the missions have puzzles in them, right?
Yes.
And many of them have co-op elements where you have to work together in order to overcome them. Can you tell me about this one?
Yeah, so here the team finds a door that is blocked, that basically blocks the progression. So then there is a forklift near to it. So what the team is going to try to do is get it back up, right? Running again. So then they can lift that door. So as you can see here.
Hey, I see that keychain. What is that? Is that a Teddy Moo?
That's Teddy Moo.
Oh my God.
That's our homage to the Payday community.
I like that. That's very cool.
So the levels are actually built in a way that you can approach every situation in the style that you want. For instance, here the team decided to divide into groups.
Yeah. And what's the point of that, right? Because in my mind, you should always stick together. Why would people divide themselves into units of 2 and 2 instead of being 4?
So it depends a lot of how you want to play it. We've seen players that really pack together in groups of 4 to make kind of a like Praetorian Guard, like you know. Yeah. So if they get attacked by walkers, they are always sticking together.
Yeah.
This group here is a bit more experienced. So the sniper took that path to take down those human enemies in a small outpost. And the others are trying to clean up the way of walkers, right?
Okay.
So in terms of the variety of puzzles that we have in the game, right? Like here you will see right now another one that is also blocking the way, right?
Yeah.
And these are challenges that you're gonna find while you're playing. They are randomized, so every time that you play, they are different. And sometimes are gonna be simple, sometimes are gonna be quite complex, right? And we do this to regulate difficulty and to make, you know, basically every playthrough
different.
Exactly.
And increase just increase the player experience, you know, because when you start the mission, you want to play it again, you know, and if you do it and it becomes a different experience, you know, walkers coming out of different areas and so on. That's the fun, right? That's the fun factor right there.
Exactly. Like think about it. Like you play the level like 40 times, right? And you can explain a story every time you play.
So, whoa, what happened there? Aiden opened the door, closed it. He's barricading it.
Yeah, actually, he's trying to, you know, like not a good idea, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, he thought,
whoop, nope. Yeah, that's the nope door. Yeah, he didn't want to go in there.
This is an important mechanic, right? Like walkers, they just come by numbers. So it's like an unstoppable force.
Yeah.
But you can slow them down.
Yeah. Right? I think this is such an important thing, I think, to talk about, that in this game, it's almost like you're not supposed to kill all the walkers, right? Because you don't have the ammunition, there's too many, and if you make too much noise, they will swarm you, right?
Exactly.
So that's why you have to use the stealth and this ebb and flow gameplay that we've been talking about in order to like move forward. So is that so being able to barricade doors? I assume that's one of the. I assume I'm talking as a viewer, right? But for the viewers who haven't seen the barricading functionality yet, the purpose of that feature and others like it is to help you mitigate the walkers, right?
Exactly. Like basically, you are always between like two swords, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have humans.
Yeah. On one
you
side.
have walkers.
Yeah. And they're pushing into.
And they're pushing each other, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do is actually barricade your back, so you win a bit of time.
Yeah.
But you cannot be like just idling around, because at some point they will destroy the door, even if you barricade it, and then they will come in, right?
Yeah.
So you are always basically on your toes. There is always a danger around every corner, but you can try to slow it down, right? And for that, you can barricade doors, you can use your abilities. We give you different tools to overcome the dangers.
Okay, very cool. So what do we see here?
So here, as you guys can see,
they're looting.
The team is looting this apartment,
which is a big part of the game, to loot the environment.
Yeah. Why you want to loot? There is a lot of reasons for it. Your abilities, you can craft them, and we will see later like how that works. But you can craft different items that you can use in the level, right? Also, cooperation is important. As you see here, Aiden has marked one enemy, and then Grant with the sniper rifle just took him down, right?
Yeah. And now it seems like shit hit the fan. The family has seen us.
Exactly. So when that happens, like you saw those indicators on their head, right?
Yeah.
They have different alert levels.
Yeah.
The first one is like they are suspicious. They're like, okay, well, I think there is something there, so they will stare in that direction for a while. And if you don't do anything suspicious, they will just then, keep doing what they were doing. If they reach the next level, though, they enter investigation state. So they will approach and check what's going on, right? Like, okay, I saw something. I don't know if it's a walker or a human. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm gonna check out, right? And then obviously the last one is combat. So
that's a cool takedown right there.
Yeah. Our team of gameplay programmers and animators that have done a great job. Like takedowns look fucking amazing.
Yeah, they look really cool. And what are they doing now? This is like a different path, right? In order to get to the camp.
Yes. So that's a path that they decided to take downstairs, right? And as we said before, we want every run to be a bit different, right? So you have a user story to explain, and you know, like you can get here in a lot of ways, right? Depending on how you progress and what is the randomization seat chooses for you.
And some of the cool stuff that I think is cool because it's in universe, right? I love features where we manage to make them a part of the Walking Dead universe. For example, like weapons jamming. That's a really cool feature.
Yeah.
Silencers exploding. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, that's actually a very important element, right?
Yeah.
In terms of silencers, they are the main tool that you're gonna use for your hardometer to go up. So it's important that you keep your silencers at check, right? They can get broken, so then you can unequip it if you see that when you keep it for longer.
Yeah.
And then your weapons also, they jam if you don't take care of them, right?
Yeah.
So back at the camp, you can go and repair the weapon, right? So to make sure that the jamming doesn't happen. And this is something that important, like keep your tools together.
And in the heat of the moment, when the noise meter goes to the top and there's walkers everywhere and the weapon suddenly jams, that's when you go, oh my God, what should I do?
That's usually the moment in which we hear more screams.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're shooting, you think that you have everything under control, and suddenly like, clack, oh! And then it's a very fun moment, right?
Yeah. Can you tell me a bit about the different abilities that the characters have, like Grant's ability, for example?
Yes, of course. So every character has its own specialities. Grant, for instance, being a marksman, right?
Yeah.
He was a hunter before being a survivor.
Yeah, before
right?
the outbreak. Yeah.
Before the outbreak. So what he can do is he can mark enemies, so they take extra damage, right? So every character has abilities that complement each other. So if you play in a team, you can actually, if you use the abilities properly, you can take advantage and be more efficient, right? So Maya, for instance, has the healing pack, right?
Yeah.
And every character has its own, let's say, its own fortes, right?
So right now I think we're seeing Heather. She loves the crossbow. What's her ability?
So Heather has an ability that, as you can see here, that she's a scavenger. So what she can do is basically she can detect around more easy where all the loot is, right? Or important items for the puzzle.
Yeah.
So it's good to have her, like if you're trying to find, I don't know, more food or any of the resources that you can find, or you just simply, okay, where are the pieces for this puzzle, right?
If you're in a hurry, essentially.
If you're in a hurry.
Yeah, it's
or
good to have Heather with
you're
you.
surrounded with walkers.
Yeah. Now we're taking an elevator.
Yeah, we repaired the elevator, so now we're going up.
What's that on the screen right now?
So what you're seeing here is the crafting menu. So Aiden just decided to heal himself.
By creating a bandage?
Exactly.
Okay.
And right now he's creating a new bandage with the loot that he found.
So you find loot in the levels, in the missions, and then you can craft stuff in the missions with it.
Exactly.
Okay.
And now they're getting ready up.
And his silencer is just about to break. Look at that.
Yeah.
One more shot maybe, and the silencer will blow up.
Yeah. He decided to save it when they were fighting zombies.
Yeah, because you can unequip them. Yeah.
Yes,
That's so cool. Oh, they were broke. That's when the silencer broke. So now he has no other option if he wants to shoot with a ranged weapon, unless he has a silent shotgun. But no, it's not
it's
silent
broken
anymore. Okay, so now it's all-out action.
It's all-out action, yeah. And as you guys can see, like every time that he shoots, like the horometer goes up.
Yeah,
right?
on the top of the screen there. Oh, and it's just about to. Oh, there we go.
There you go. The noise attracts the workers, right?
Yeah.
So this is a feature that really makes the game dynamic and different every time you play, right?
Yeah,
because
it's like a dynamic difficulty. You could argue.
It's like
the worse you play, the harder it gets, kind of.
Well, yes,
So
we punch you in the
over-
face, and then when you're on the ground, we just finish you, right?
No, but tell me.
So the idea with it is that basically with this feature, the levels become super dynamic.
Yeah.
Because depending on with whom you're playing,
Yeah.
the gameplay experience is completely different.
Yeah.
Right. And even on your own, if you want to go like, okay, I'm a lone wolf, I'm gonna do it on my own.
Because, like we're saying, this is an experienced crew playing right now. This is an experienced group of survivors.
Yeah.
So their hordometer is nothing in comparison to what if you and me would be playing, for example. Then it'd be all over the place, right?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, we will go full guns blazing, right?
Yeah, we definitely. Yeah, I love guns blazing. So we see here Grant is trying to fend off the walkers coming from behind.
Yeah, so right now as the hordometer went up, they are starting to crowd the area, right? They know there is humans here.
And they're barricading. That's great.
And then basically right now what they want to do is like hold them back, right? But you know what is really fun is like this same puzzle. If you play it like with this hordometer, you're gonna be kind of okay, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's gonna be some walkers, you can control them. But if you really made a lot of noise, this like the scenario changes completely. Right?
Yeah.
And this is how it changes.
like this, for example.
Exactly.
Holy crap! That's a ton of walkers.
Yeah.
So this is when the noise meter, the hordometer is on the top, yeah. And so you're supposed to solve puzzles while at the same time fending off hundreds of walkers.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this team has they know the deal, right?
Yeah.
So they are holding them behind the door not to get surrounded, because that's when really things get
And Aiden's
very hard.
And this is we were talking before about the weapon families in the game, that we have different weapon families that have different purposes. For example, with Aiden, right, his baseball bat fills a particular function in a crowded situation like this. Because you can push away, and then you can push away many instead of just one.
Exactly.
Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, we have different weapon families. For instance, Aiden's baseball bat is very good at crowd control. Actually, you can fence enemies easier, and you can use like your light and heavy attacks to control the zombies around you, right? So you have long swipes that push enemies back. Then you have other type of weapons for CQC, like the machete or the pickaxe, that are more for individual walkers. So then it's easier and faster to kill one specific walker.
And it looks cooler also. I love the machete when you
Machete
just
is cool,
slash a walker's head off. It's beautiful.
Yeah, the fire axe is also very cool too.
Yeah.
Like I really like it. It's weighty and it's a bit slow, but
it's beautiful in a gruesome way, because it sounds so weird to say it like that. But when you're when you're playing and you're doing it, it looks so cool.
Exactly. So the whole idea is that every weapon has its own purpose and its own strengths and weaknesses, and then basically you need to find the weapon of your choice. Like what do you like to play with more, right? And
we're also talking about the game being like a battle of attrition, meaning that you have so little resources. Like Aiden, for example, he only has 2 bullets left in his gun, 1 bullet left, and here we go. He's no ammo left. So how do we think there? Like that's part of the game design. That's part of the difficulty, the challenge, and it's also very much in tune with the universe, right? With The Walking Dead, that you have to take care of your bullets. You have to take care of your weapons. You have to try to be stealthy.
Exactly. So this is a key element, right? Like it's not. Weapons are scarce, right? Like there is no, shops that you can go to and buy a new box of
a mint
weapons,
condition weapon. Oh, nice!
Exactly.
Or 500 bullets. Thank you very much.
So you need to scavenge around and find ammo, right? And then be very cautious when you use it, right? And that's something that is really important for the gameplay, because then you have all the other tools that you can use, like abilities, CQC, that then you can actually, manage every situation in a different way, right? And then. And then when basically you're going through the level, you need to be very mindful of, when is the correct timing to spend my bullets, that very precious, valuable bullets, right? Or just go full,
Yeah, I hear you. Cool. And that was the gameplay we wanted to show. And we also we hope you liked it. We hope you liked what you saw. Thank you, Sal, for taking us through the experience also. So we have an announcement to make as well, and it's regarding the closed beta, right?
Exactly. So for all of you that pre-ordered the game, on the 9th of October, we have the closed beta. So we are really looking forward to see you guys play, stream the game, and we really want to see you guys make your choices, right? If you're gonna go noisy, if you're gonna go like stealthy, right? That's something that I hope that you guys enjoy.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So make sure you pre-order the game on Steam if you want to participate in the closed beta, October 9. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are too.
Absolutely.
Cool. If you don't mind, there's a couple of questions I'd like to ask you. So, you know, we've done an AMA on our subreddit, on our community subreddit, and I think it covers a lot of questions, but these particular ones keep on popping up, and I'd just like to ask you quickly if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. So, can I play solo?
Yeah, absolutely. The difficulty scales depending on how many players are actually in the match, right? So if you decide to go like pre-bait and just play alone, you will have enemies with a bit of lower health. You will have less walkers spawning, right? So the difficulty just scales with how many players are there, what's the level of those players. So
there will always be lone wolves who will try to do it themselves, right? When we usually say that you're alone or you're alive, but it's a great achievement for anyone, you know, to do it yourself. Cool. So is there a story mode in the game, or?
Yeah, absolutely. The main story it basically explains your struggle with the family, right? Which is the rival faction, and then basically what you need to do there is like you need to do a couple of missions to resolve this conflict, right? In your favor, obviously, and.
Hopefully.
Yeah, it would be cool the other way around, right? But let's do that. So yeah, like, there is a story mode, and then you can follow the story through.
And in the story, we follow Heather, Maya, Grant, and Aiden, right? And they're part of the camp.
They're part of Anderson's group, which is he built a camp, right, to try to get a bit back of what it was before the apocalypse, right? And then finding these good people like Aiden and I, all our main characters, right? Getting together there and then trying to make the day, right?
Because that's one of the things with The Walking Dead is that as a universe in the comics, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel, or so you always have to think, right? You always have to be positive, even though everything's so bleak around us, you know, with walkers, rival factions, friends betraying each other, these kind of things, you know. So it's always so good to have that camp idea, like we can make this our camp.
Exactly.
So. There's this is a first-person shooter. It's a cooperative 4-player multiplayer game. But people are asking, you know, is it Left 4 Dead? Is it Payday? What kind of game is it? Where would you like?
It's Overkill's The Walking Dead.
Yeah, right? For sure.
So that's a question, yes, that pops a lot, right? Yeah. And we think that we found this unique formula, right? That when shit hits the fan and the hordometer goes up, people talks a lot about how it makes them feel like Left 4 Dead, right? Yeah. And then all the strategical part before that, right? Like the needing to find pieces to open a gate or to steal something, reminds them of Payday 2, right? So I think that we managed to make a game that is very dynamic,
special,
and very special,
Cool. And is there going to be a crossover from any other The Walking Dead franchise? You think?
No spoilers yet, but absolutely.
I
I'm
see
not gonna
how
say
it is.
when or how, but yes, absolutely.
And that goes to my following question: are there more playable characters than the 4 ones that we see?
You're asking a lot of hard questions.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
We go to the next one.
No, it's good.
We'll save that for launch.
No.
Let's
say they deserve it, right?
Yeah,
come
okay.
on. So yes.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. So, what type of missions in the game or game modes will we be able to see, you think?
So at launch, we could say that we have like 2 big game modes, right? One is you going out there to either kill enemies or steal their things, right? So you're gonna be exploring, you're gonna be solving puzzles around, and a defense one, right? In which your camp gets attacked. It can be by walkers or by humans, especially the family. And then you need to defend it against them, right? And then after launch, of course, we have a plan in our live operations to add new game modes to that.
Cool. We got a question here from Trashlight, who's watching from YouTube.
Hello.
Hey, aren't humans the threat in The Walking Dead? The walkers are more like an annoying thing in the later part, at least.
That's a very good analysis, right? Yes, the humans are the main threat. Humans are actually as smart as you are, right? And this is something that is really important for us. That's why when you face humans, you need to always remind yourself that they are as dangerous as you are to them, right? So
because they have ranged weapons, melee weapons, they move differently from walkers.
Exactly. Like we have for humans what we call tactical pathfinding. So what they do is that when you are fighting them, they always try to choose a path that is out of your
vision,
scope, your vision, and then they always try to sneak through, right?
Yeah, and work together.
And work together to take you down, right? And walkers are, of course, they are mindless creatures that they just want to eat you, right? So their danger is in the numbers, right? And that's where it really becomes fun. Like you having these smart enemies in front, very dangerous, and then surrounded by mindless flesh eaters, right?
Yeah. So a few more questions, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
So I have one here. It's a general question. So can you turn off the outlines if you'd like?
This is a question that it was a request in our AMA. We didn't plan for it, but yes, we're gonna have this here.
Okay, cool. Let's see if there's another one. Will there be an open beta? When?
So it's gonna be a closed beta.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be on open beta.
9th of October.
9th of October. And then we're gonna go into more details
as
when we get closer
to it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, and someone asks, Survivor LDG asks from Twitch, how many weapons are in the game?
A lot.
Yeah.
So there is 45 weapons and then around 200 mods.
Yeah, because you can modify the guns.
Yes, so this is very important. Like we want you to really feel like this is, I mean, you're trying to survive, right?
Yeah.
So you need to choose how, right?
Yeah.
So you get your weapon, you can add a lot of mods, modify it at your will, right? And then with that, try to, progress in the story, progress in the missions, level up your characters, right?
Because different weapons are good at different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, this is a very cool thing as well, right? You can find weapons also in the levels. So you need to, basically explore a lot, right? And then if you find a weapon extracted, that it becomes part of your inventory.
Oh,
right?
Cool.
So then we really want players to feel rewarded when they're playing. Right? So if you explore, you will get a lot of every playthrough that you do.
Cool. All right. Cool. How long are the missions? Asks Glory Toby on Twitch.
Well, there is several factors, and it depends a lot of your skill set, right? Like for instance, ourselves that we play the game every day, like I don't know how many times. It takes around 30-40 minutes to complete a standard level, right? And then if it's your first time, it can take you like, I don't know, we've seen like people taking like 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Yeah. Because they go like super slow, right?
Yeah, I remember at Gamescom, there was one group that we told the crew about when we came back that stayed late and they played for 45 minutes because usually we just get people to go in for 20 minutes and most people die before that. But this group in particular, they managed to survive for 45 minutes and they finished the mission. And the developers watching it, because we were there watching it, we became so happy afterwards because it's not easy for the first time when you try it.
It is not easy, no.
It might not have been their first time. They might have stood in line, I'm not sure, but it's so cool to see, people really, committing together as a team, because it's really, a co-op, in its core. You know what I mean? If you work together, it becomes a completely different experience than if you try to just go at it alone.
Yeah, and you mentioned, right, like the game being difficult, right?
Yeah.
And this is something that we really want the game to feel like an achievement. So when you complete a level, you are not like, okay, let's move to the next, right? You are like, yes, I completed this, right? We made it, and actually we got 2 weapons out. Oh,
Yeah.
That's what we're really looking forward, right? The reward of accomplishment.
And regarding Dirty Whiskey on Twitch asks...
Nice nickname.
Yeah. Will there be any cosmetics, like outfits, etc.?
Yes. It's not gonna be no microtransactions. So you don't pay for them, right? You can...
pink hats?
No pink hats, neither, right? So you can find different skins for your characters by playing the game, and then you will unlock them, right? So if you see a cosmetic, you know that that person actually achieved something, right? Did something special. And then the idea with that is that we will keep the characters always within canon, right? In the universe. So yes, no pink hats or crazy outfits, right? They will always respect the personality and style of that specific character that you got the skin for.
Okay, cool. Let's see if we have any more questions. Actually, let's see here. There's a ton of questions, of course, but many of them have already been answered in our AMA on Reddit. So I'd like to advise anyone watching, please check out our forums, both our Steam Community Hub forum, where we interact and talk about the game, and also on our subreddit, where we did the AMA. There's a ton of answers there, so if your question wasn't answered during this stream, don't worry about it. There's going to be more opportunities to talk about.
Just post them on Reddit, on our community.
Yeah, or tweet at us, Saul Gascon on Twitter, Almir Listo at Twitter as well. We're happy to always talk with you guys. But and when do we get to see you next time, Saul?
So in the next stream.
Good question.
So yes, we want to explain. We've seen a lot of questions from the community, right, about our meta loop, right, and we have a very exciting meta loop, and we want to explain it to players, right, like how. So you go out there, right? You search for things. What do you do with them after, right? You bring them to the cam, and then you build it up, and then you get.
Because I mean, then before the closed beta starts, for sure, we're gonna have at least one developer stream where we go through these things, because there's so many things to talk about in the game, right? And some we want to wait a bit, because we're putting those final tweaks, and making it beautiful before we want to talk about it. And as many of you know, The Walking Dead turns 15 years this year, so it's a big anniversary. And October is going to be an important month for fans, and we're going to have some cool events coming up. There's a ton of stuff to catch up to. We're going to make sure through our social media channels that you're up to speed on all the latest regarding that. And of course, I mean, for me, the biggest takeaway, other than seeing the Underpass again, it looks so cool, is also finally the closed beta date, 9th of October.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we're very excited.
Very excited. We talked a bit about Gamescom. We showed a bit about the player experiences from on site. We showed Underpass, walked through it, and we took some questions as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Saul, for taking the time. I know how busy you are. Thank you, and thank you for watching, and see you soon.
See ya.